Hey, welcome Circlepix photographers. Today I want to talk about shooting still images. It doesn't matter if you've been with us for 10 years or if you're just starting out. These are some pointers and guidelines that are going to give you some good results when taking still images. The first thing I want to talk about is what size we need your still images in. They need to be at least 5 megapixels. Okay, they need to be in JPEG format. If you decide to shoot in RAW format, that's fine as long as you convert them to JPEGs. So at least 5 megapixels. You know, that's going to help with your upload times. If they're bigger, that's fine. Those are some guidelines though, at least that big. As far as your lens goes, we really prefer the 10mm lens. So if you haven't converted over to the 10mm lens, we really encourage you to convert to the 10mm lens. We want you shooting anywhere from 10 to 20 millimeter. A lot of times at the property when I'm shooting pictures, I'll use a tripod for my still images. You know, sometimes it's not the most convenient thing, but it gives the best result. It's going to keep your lens straight. You know, it's going to keep everything mounted correctly. A lot of times though, I will carry my camera around the house. You know, you don't have to use your tripod for still images. We want the best product from you. We want the most clear images. We want the lines straight in your pictures. As far as shooting with the wide angle lens goes, I want to talk about it just for a minute because it's important. When you're shooting, let's say you're shooting in 10mm, it's extremely important that you keep your camera level when shooting interior real estate pictures. For the most part, you're going to keep your camera level. Now, the reason being is this. When you've got some height on you, maybe if you're a little taller, and you start to angle your camera down like this, all the vertical lines in the picture, they start to go crooked. It looks like you're in a fun house, you know? And when you compare two images, one that's been shot at an angle and one that's been shot straight up and down, you know, you can line the side of your viewfinder up with a window or a doorway, and that'll keep your lines straight in your picture. I like to shoot my still images in A mode, aperture priority mode. I want to keep my images sharp. I want to try to reduce the depth of field in my pictures, so I have everything in a sharp focus. I like to use for example, I like to use f5.6 to f9. And I like to shoot with an ISO of anywhere from 800 to 1600, okay, to get some extra light in the picture for those smaller f-stops. Now, as far as the white balance goes, I would encourage you to play with your white balance a little bit. I want you to shoot in flash, or I use auto white balance a lot because, you know, you've got all these different lighting sources, and it seems like we're getting more all the time. We've got the window light coming in from the window. You've got tungsten. You've got fluorescent light in the house. You've got LED lights now. So many different light sources. And for your camera to have to choose one, it's hard. And that's a big reason why we use the flash. We want the flash to compensate lighting throughout the room. And a good way to use your flash successfully is I always recommend a diffuser. One way that I really like to use my flash is having it point over the top of my head. You know, so I'm taking a picture like this. I like to get a good bounce of the flash off the wall behind me, off of the ceiling. It really seems to illuminate the room nice, especially with that ISO set to 800 to 1600. That really helps get an even spread of the light. If you have your flash pointing at your subject, that can be okay. And I highly recommend, a lot of our photographers have made their own diffusers. You can use the diffuser that your flash has built in. You can buy another diffuser, but it's important that you get that flash diffused or you shoot bouncing it off of a wall, because we don't want to get harsh flash spots on things. Now remember, these are just guidelines to shooting stills, but they work, okay? They'll give you sharp, clear images. You will find success with them. I encourage you to follow the guidelines and to, experiment on your own. We just want the best picture from you. We don't want you to have to go out and reshoot a property. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn a little bit about shooting stills and updating your skills with this mini training session. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.